Hey everybody, it's Jamie from Plum Island Sea Cabin. It is early Saturday morning and I have a bucket of seashells that I collected because I am going to show you how to clean your shells. Oh, this is probably going to take like 3 or 4 minutes to show you how to clean the shells, and then after we clean the shells, we're going on a shell hunt. So let's do it. One question that I get asked a lot is how I clean my shells, whether I use soap and water, bleach, muriatic acid. So I usually am strictly soap and water. So like hot water and soap, I feel does the trick in a lot of cases. And for any shells that are a little bit too funky for that and that they need a little bit more, I use hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is very gentle on the shells, so it's not really harsh on them. So that's what I really like about them. And I usually do a little mixture of a little bit of water and mostly hydrogen peroxide. I submerge the shells and I leave them sit for 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes I get wrapped up in a project and I totally forget about it until 24 hours later, and that's totally fine. Like I said, it's very gentle and it's not harsh on the shells. When I see that thick layer of foam on top of the water, I know that it's pretty much done. The other thing that I like about the hydrogen peroxide is that it kills bacteria. So any bacteria that is in the shells or on the shells will then be gone once we clean them. So here is what we are going to do. I only have one hand, so I'm going to open the bottle and then I will start filming again when I pour it in. Making sure that I get it all over everything. So I'll probably move them around, make sure that they're all nice and fully submerged. Get all that peroxide in and on them. And then later, after a few hours, we will come back and we'll pull some out. I'll show you how they look. And we will lay them out to dry, and then they will be nice and clean. It is around 5 o'clock in the morning. It is around 59 degrees out. It is a nice cool morning for July, and the sun just came up behind us right there, and we are at the beach. So this sunrise is incredible. I love the silhouettes of all the seagulls that are feeding on the beach right now. And we have a really interesting rack line here to go through this morning, in addition to all of the rocks that are over here. So this whole section of rocks, we're going to be digging through that this morning, seeing what we can find. But I do love that it is a negative tide and we have a lot of beach to cover. This is nice. This is a very beautiful black oyster shell. So these really have a lot of character to them, and I really enjoy collecting them. I don't come across the black ones often, but I really like and enjoy all the layers of them. They have some really interesting patterns and colors. This is a great shell. I'm gonna have to add this one to the collection. Whew, our sand dollars are coming back, everyone. We haven't seen a lot of sand dollars this spring, but I have been seeing more and more of them wash up on the beach. See if we can get that sunrise to line up in that little hole on the sand dollar. Ah, there we go. Really beautiful. So this has a little bit of a break in it. We will leave it. I try to leave more than I take these days. Cute little Stimsones collis down here, a little busted up. What I really enjoy about the negative low tides is that there's the farthest point out hasn't been exposed for a while. So that means beachcombers like you and me haven't been able to get out there to see what's there because it's all underwater. So when we have a negative low tide, that's like hitting a beach that has been secluded or closed for a while. And there's been no one to pick through the shells that are there. So it's kind of going into uncharted territory and being able to have a bunch of shells, even like leftover storm shells, which makes it nice. This one looks like it would be really ginormous, but I kind of feel like it might be broken, but it's worth checking out. I'm just going to try to remove some of the debris from around it. See if I can free it up a little. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere. It's pretty wedged. I don't have my screwdriver with me today, so I'm going to turn the camera off, see if I can get it out, and then turn it back on. Okay, got a little bit of a wiggle here. Okay, was able to get it out. Let's rinse it, see what we got here. But it does have some really cool color on it. So it is an older one. Good color. I like those black lines. I don't know if they'll stay when it dries, but the aperture opening is a little broken there. We'll see what it looks like when it dries. A little bit of a hermit crab scuffle going on down here. I think that hermit wants the shell that hermit is in. So I think there's a bit of a conflict going on here. So we'll see if it can be resolved. Maybe it can, maybe it won't. Or maybe it was just trying to see if that shell was occupied, which is what it looks like, and now that it knows it is, it's leaving. So a lot of things going on out here in the tide pools this morning. Another surf clam here. That's a good size one. That's probably about 8 inches, a little over, between 7 and 8. Another one over here. pausing for a minute to look at how cool this rock is. That is very nice. Look at all those orange and black swirls. I feel like today would be a day to just collect surf clams. Bunch of them here. Really nice size. Rinse these off to give you a better look. Two great shells. Ooh. Ah, this would have been a really nice. This would have been a really nice wave walk or comet walk. Busted. Nice blue moon. Got some tan mixed in there. Cute little dog whelks and oops, almost wasted my camera. A lot of cute little dog whelks and periwinkles there on this barnacle crusted rock. We have a bunch of them coming up here. One thing that I would love to find today, and I don't know if we will because I haven't seen them since last year, are some common starfish. They're really beautiful. They're really, really pretty orangey pink starfish that live in these rocks. And they kind of cling to the bottom of them at low tide. And I haven't seen them since last year. But that would be something that is really fun to find. Last year when I found them, I did an entire video on them. So if you are interested to see what they look like, you can check that video out. So this is another small Atlantic surf clam shell. And a good tip for finding starfish is many a time the rocks have a thick coating of seaweed or algae that's attached to them. Like this, and the starfish usually live underneath that, so it's always good to move that and kind of see if there's anything clinging on to the rocks. But today I don't see any. So down here, sticking up between the rocks, is a great piece of waterlogged wood. And the reason why I call it great is because I really like and I enjoy when this bright green seaweed is attached to it with the little periwinkle clusters. And all of these holes and these bores that are in the wood are created from piddock clams. So that's P-I-D-D-O-C-K if you want to look them up. I'll put a little bit of information on the screen about them. But they are wood boring bivalves. And they actually bore into waterlogged wood and also soft stone. So if you find those hag stones on the beach, which are really beautiful, I have never found one before. That's on a bucket list item of mine. But those are caused from piddock bivalve clams. And we have angel wings. If you've ever seen a pair of angel wings, they have kind of like serration and rigid shells on the outside. So what they do is they start to, when they're babies, they bore themselves into a piece of waterlogged wood or a piece of stone, and they live in there throughout the duration of their lifetime. And what they do is they kind of wiggle side to side and kind of rotate a little bit and they kind of bore all the way into the wood. And as they're boring in and as they're getting older, they get bigger. So they can live their entire lifetime inside a piece of wood or in a rock. But those are wood-boring bivalves. They're piddics, and that is what creates these, along with shipworms and other wood-boring animals. But just a little bit of information there I wanted to share with you. I thought you'd think it was interesting. And when I come across a really cool specimen like this, I definitely want to share it with you. It is getting buggy here. Cute little seagull feathers down here. Leave those here. Oh my goodness, it is warming up and the bugs are getting kind of crazy. Whew. Probably end up with a bunch of bug bites after today. I'm not sure if I shared this with you, but summer is not my favorite time for shelling. I definitely prefer winter shelling, snow shelling, and shelling in the fall. Just because I'm not big on bugs. I don't mind them, I just don't want them touching me. So we're gonna head down to the water's edge down there. We're kind of in the thick of the rocks right now, and you can see all the bugs kind of swarming in front of the screen. But we are gonna head down to the water's edge right down there. We're in the middle of the rocks. We're gonna head down there and we're gonna see if it's less buggy and more shelly. Less buggy, more shelly. So here's my goal. We entered the water right there, and we are right here in this little bit of rocks. And my goal is to get around that corner right there and then into that little inlet and back into the rocks over there, where I suspect there's going to be more bugs, but we're just going to have to deal with it today. Pretty deep drop off over here. Can't see it, but I'm up to my shins right now, and if I go down there, I'm going to end up to my knees. So we'll head back towards the shore. That looks like a mega moon, and we need to go check it out. Make our way over to it through the rocks. Pretty mega-y. See if I can block the sun. That has some really nice markings on it. It's a good size. So that was definitely worth coming over to check out. So that's a good moon. So we did make it over to this little sandy beach area. We have the rocks that we just came from and where we were, and then where we came from around the corner and to where we are right now. But I am going to go check out the shallows over here, because this is typically where we find some sand dollars. And I found 2 this morning, so I feel like sand dollars are promising today. Woo! Sand dollar. If I wasn't paying attention, I would have stepped on it. And when it comes to sand dollar scores, it doesn't get much better than this one. It's a really nice sand dollar. We'll see if we can find any more in the shallow water. What's really nice about coming a couple hours before low tide is the tide is going out. And so it is actually sucking all the sand away. And when it does that, it exposes sand dollars like this one. So that's a good little tip for you. Come when the tide is receding, and the tide will actually help you uncover beauties like this. So there's something over here that's very cool when we were just standing there. This looks like a live, it's either going to be a quahog clam or a surf clam. So we'll do a short visit with this one. We'll dig it out, take a look, and then put it back in. But yeah, this is an Atlantic surf clam. It's not too big, so we typically find ones here. So the biggest these get are a little over 8 inches. So this one is about, I would say, between 6 and 7 inches. So this is not a honker, but it is a beautiful live Atlantic surf clam. So we will go ahead and bury that back up. Thank you for the visit. Hope we didn't disturb you too much, and we will see you later. Something interesting to show you. Right down here is a set of very nice angel wings. So these wings right here, you can see the ridges at the bottom. And these are a wood boring pittock bivalve. This is a good example of what I was talking about earlier with that waterlogged piece of wood and all those boreholes. So it's a really good set of angel wings. I don't typically find them a lot, so this was a good score for us. And they do in fact look like angel wings. Holy cow, you guys. Every time I see a mega moon, I'm like, this is the mega moon. And I'm like, no, this is the mega moon find of the day. I keep seeing a bigger one and a bigger one. But like, check out, before we take this one out, check out like all the really cool broken big pieces we're finding. Oh, this one is alive. See all the water coming out as the foot shrinks up and goes in, and that operculum flips around as a little trapdoor. So this is a good sized moon, but it is occupied. So we're going to put it back in the water, but look at that beautiful amber operculum. Thanks for the visit. I will put you here where I found you. Sorry, I did not know you were in there. But have a good day. Nice deep sea scallop. Little battered up around the edges here. But compared to what it's had to make its way through, it's in pretty good shape. Well done, little deep sea scallop. So these are some larger surf clam shells here. Well, I suppose they're about the same size as we found before. The 6 to 7 inches. But there are a lot of surf clams today. It's like surf clam after surf clam after surf clam on the beach. So if you're looking for surf clams that are huge, a lot of people use them for like little soap dishes in their bathroom for decorative purposes, or people paint the insides of them and use them as little jewelry trays. But if you're looking for giant, massive Atlantic surf clam shells, Plum Island is the place to go. One more quick thing before we leave the beach today. Most of the Parker River Wildlife Refuge is closed right now due to the nesting plovers. But we are in mid-July, and next month in August is when they open all of those gates. So the date has not been chosen yet because they do wait for the last little baby plover to fly away before they open the beaches, but that does happen in August. So all of the gates will be open in the Parker River Wildlife Refuge. Check their website, contact them to see when it will be opening. I'm sure they will post it on social media, so be sure to follow them. But once it opens, this opens us up for a whole other bunch of shelling that we're going to be doing. That opens us up to the full 11 miles of coastline on Plum Island, and we are going to be finding things that we're not able to find here, like those huge scallop shells, the big sea urchins, the starfish, and the other things that we were finding last year that we haven't been finding because we've been confined to the Barhead Rocks for our shelling. So stay tuned for next month. It is going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. So thank you all so much for shelling with me today. We had an amazing beach experience. So many things we found. It was awesome. And I will see you all next time we hit the beach. Bye.